By most people's definition, I've been successful. However, my real success is measured not by sales or profits, but how I've created opportunities for hundreds of men and women, built a culture where everyone is valued and where they value each other, and I have been privileged to help those who've been unable to help themselves. When I began my business, it wasn't easy. First, I had to convince a bank to lend me the capital to buy and modernize the store. Then I had to find a management team willing to join me in this new venture. Understandably, there was no reason to believe that I would succeed. Through the years, I've experienced both successes and failures, wins and losses, challenges and opportunities. No matter the circumstance, there are a few principles that have guided my decision-making along the way. One principle is centered on respect. I spent a lot of time with my dad as a kid, working with him in his store, observing how his relationships almost always resulted in him being a positive force in business and on people. One thing that was consistent in his business dealings was the mutual respect that was demonstrated in all his relationships. It may be a simple idea, but it's one that has survived the test of time. When I treat each person well, with respect, and I'm open and inclusive, I can expect to be treated well in return. Because of that belief, I have forged relationships with people from all walks of life, and my associates, customers, and the communities I serve have returned that respect through the support of me and my company. There are so many ways that business can make a positive and lasting impact on their communities. It begins with the belief that I have an obligation to support the communities that we serve, and not to stay on the sidelines when they face challenge. As my business grew, I noticed that many of the surrounding neighborhoods lacked access to supermarkets and fresh food, a situation that is often referred to today as a food desert. Not only do people living in food deserts pay higher prices for food, the people that can afford it the least, but they actually have significant higher degree of obesity and the illness that accompanies it. This just didn't seem right to me. I knew that there must be a way for me to do something about it. Working with the Pennsylvania representative Dwight Evans and a nonprofit called the Reinvestment Fund, we put our heads together and developed something called the Fresh Food Financing Initiative. This initiative helps supermarkets open stores in lower income or underserved neighborhoods, areas where the cost of doing business make building and operating a store not economically viable on its own. In 2004, I jumped in head first and opened the first store utilizing funds from the Fresh Food Financing Initiative in Southwest Philadelphia. The store made a big difference in that Southwest Philadelphia community. If you look at the area where the store is located, it was defined by vacant buildings, a high crime rate, and no access to fresh food. Today, the crime is down significantly, housing values are on the rise, and businesses have returned to our shopping center that once was the scene of gun violence. We were able to make a difference by using our skills to creatively work with the community to solve a problem that for decades seemed unsolvable. Grocers had long given up on low-income communities because they simply could not succeed. This initiative changed all of that. Opening that first store in a food desert would set an example for 82 additional supermarkets that would follow us in the entire state of Pennsylvania. These stores are changing the lives of so many underserved neighborhoods. This effort was so successful that it caught the attention of the White House as a potential model for a national program. The President and the First Lady invited me as a guest to their first State of the Union address earlier this year, and he later announced that in his 2011 budget, he would include $400 million a year towards a national healthy food financing initiative modeled after our program. As I sat at my college graduation ceremony, excited to graduate, I never had imagined that one day I would sit in the House of Representatives as an invited guest of the President and First Lady. I didn't envision that one day I would have a solution to improve the lives of the 23 million Americans least able to do it themselves. To me, it just isn't enough to be financially successful without considering the greater good. As you enter your careers, ask yourself, how can I be a force for positive change? Whether you plan to be an entrepreneur, work for a nonprofit, or enter the corporate world, can be part of a new mindset to be accountable to two bottom lines. One that considers financial success and the other the success of the community. Each of us has the potential to make a difference. Even small differences have the potential to improve many people's lives. Being a person that is trusted and reliable makes a difference. Being a problem solver, encouraging others, makes a difference. Being inclusive and willing to serve others makes a difference. Being willing to change when change is difficult will make a difference. Last year I discovered another way I could make a difference by creating Uplift Solutions. Uplift Solutions is a nonprofit organization which is developing a national team to assist solving the food desert crisis. As you go through life, never doubt that your experiences and talents can solve problems, even big problems, and bring about lasting change. You've heard that often quoted saying from Margaret Mead, that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. That saying is truer today than ever. Along the way, you will encounter many obstacles, requiring you to experiment, innovate, and adjust your game plan. So what do you need to know as you forge ahead? Be prepared. Our country and the world are undergoing significant changes which can become a hardship for those unwilling or unprepared for them. Don't settle. Don't let life's obstacles wear you down, but press on until you make the differences you are seeking. I hope that you will not only be successful in your chosen careers, but that you also have the ability to improve the lives of others. I promise you that I have never met anyone who has achieved true happiness on financial success alone. Helping others is life's satisfaction. Be determined. Persistence will win the day, especially when you're in pursuit of a worthy endeavor. As you move forward in your careers, always remember that there's more than one way to measure your success. Sure, you will need to contribute to the financial success of your company or nonprofit, but you can also make a lasting impact on all the people you influence along the way. Be proud of every decision you make. Contribute to the success of your company and the success of the greater community. The integrity you demonstrate in all your business dealings will go a long way in determining if you are a force for good and positive change. In closing, let me congratulate you all for this great accomplishment. This was not an easy task, but I'm sure you had the ongoing support of your friends and family. My congratulations to this great institution for helping to prepare our future leaders. And to the family of the class of 2010, you should all be very proud.